In this video, I'm going to break down the 4 key ideas from Atomic Habits, what the book is really about, the part that hit me the hardest, and how you can start applying it today. Everybody wants massive change, losing weight, switching careers, rebuilding your life from scratch. We treat those things as if they're giant leaps, but really, they're the result of tiny steps repeated over and over again. This book shifted everything for me when it revealed one simple, massive truth. Your habits today are building the person you'll become in a few years, whether you're paying attention to it or not. Here's how this is going to go. Number 1 is the 1% rule. 2 is why systems beat goals. 3, the identity shift. And 4, what you can start doing today. All right, let's get into it. Part 1 is the 1% rule. So Atomic Habits is known for the whole 1% better everyday thing, but that concept is a lot deeper than people think. See, small changes don't feel like they matter in the moment. You stack one workout, one clean meal, 1 hour of studying, and nothing looks different. And that's the trap. This book helped me see that improvement isn't linear, it's compounding. The graph looks flat, 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 and then suddenly the line jumps. It's the reason people quit right before the results show up. James Clear calls it the plateau of latent potential, because you're improving long before you can even see it. For me, the 1% rule explained why I used to fall apart every single time I would make a big change. I always wanted instant results. And when I didn't see proof fast enough, I'd restart, scrap everything, or pick a new plan. And now I get it. Consistency comes first, and then the results follow later. And that's what brings us to the second part of the book, which really punched me in the face. Part 2 is systems over goals. I talked about this in a previous video. Most people think that their problem is a lack of motivation. It's not. It's bad systems. Every Olympian wants gold. Every entrepreneur wants success, but goals don't separate winners from losers. Systems do. See, this cracked something open in my brain because my whole life I set goals without building structure to reach them. And when you rely on motivation, it's quick to burn out. Any obstacle bumps in front of you, you're quick to give up. And when you rely on a system, you show up even when you don't want to. One of the first things I did after reading this book was create a super simple nightly routine. Write tomorrow's top 3 tasks, review my goals, and prep the space. It takes 2 minutes, but it changed how my mornings feel. But the real breakthrough wasn't through systems. It was through identity, which is part 3. James Clear says that the ultimate form of motivation is when habit becomes part of who you are. We're taught to work completely backwards, outcome before identity. Like, I want to lose weight, so I'm going to eat healthy. Then I'll be a healthy person. But that never sticks. Atomic Habits completely flips it. Identity, process, outcome. Identity first, develop a process, then have an outcome. You don't get in shape. You become someone who doesn't miss workouts. You don't build discipline. You become someone who shows up. The shift isn't about doing more. It's about becoming someone new. When your identity changes, your habits don't feel forced anymore. They feel like the natural thing to do because when you match who you believe you are. That's why identity-based habits stick when everything else was going to fall apart. Again, this hit home for me, especially having ADHD. I used to think I'm going to need motivation to be consistent. Now I think I'm a consistent person. My job is to prove it to myself every single day with one action. Okay, so let's talk about how you actually start. Atomic Habits breaks the process down into 4 stages: cue, craving, response, and reward. The idea is that every habit runs on the same loop. Something's going to cue you, you crave the outcome, and then you respond automatically. And then, of course, the reward teaches your brain whether or not you should do it again. And this is happening all day long without you realizing it. Your phone buzzes, you crave the dopamine, you check it. Your brain rewards the behavior, and then you end up on a doom loop scroll. Repeat it enough times, and it's going to become automatic. Now, you don't need to memorize this. You just need to apply the 4 laws to defeat this. 1 is to make it obvious. Put the thing that you want to do in your way. Like, design the environment so that the right choice is actually the easiest choice. If you want to read more, keep a book on your pillow. Keep it next to your bedstand. Or put it in a place that you know you're going to access easily. Or put it on your couch where you're normally sitting scrolling Netflix. If you want to drink more water, put a bottle on your desk. If you want to stop scrolling, charge your phone from across the room. See, most people think they lack discipline, but in reality, they lack good cues. Second part to this is to make it attractive. Now, pair the habit with something enjoyable your brain actually wants you to show up for. Listen to a podcast while you walk. Save your favorite drink or get a reward for going to the gym. Make your workspace feel so good that when you sit down, it doesn't feel like a freaking battle. Because if your habits feel like punishment, your brain will fight you the entire way. Make it rewarding to start, and you're going to show up more often. Number 3 is to make it easy. Now, reduce the friction until the habit becomes stupidly simple. This might be something as simple as just laying out your gym clothes the night before. The idea here is to use smaller, simpler versions of those big habits. Instead of writing for an hour, start with open the document, because success isn't going to come from intensity. It's coming from repeatability. Number 4 is to make it satisfying, kind of like attaching a reward to your brain so it goes, let's do that again. So check off a box, track a streak, celebrate the reps, not the results. Your brain will be wired to repeat what feels good for now, not what pays off in 6 months. We need to rewire it. See, the magic is removing all the resistance. If a habit feels effortless, you're going to do it even on the worst days. And if your environment is supporting your goals, then half of your work is already done. Most people fail to keep the habit going, not because the habit was hard, but because their setup made success harder than it needed to be. For me, it's as simple as having a planner on my desk, right there in my front, not in the drawer, right there on the desk. I see it, I do it, I get that tiny dopamine hit when I check something off. It's simple, but it works. And more importantly, it works even when I feel like I don't want to do it. It's just a system that guides me back on track when I'm falling off the rails. Here's the real magic of Atomic Habits. You don't need a massive plan. You don't need to reinvent yourself overnight. You just need one habit that survives the days when you don't feel like it. Because that's the habit that builds the next version of you, the version of you with momentum, the version of you that doesn't negotiate with your old excuses, the version of you that you've been trying to become for years. And it all starts in a way smaller way than you think. I'm working on mine. Start yours today. And if you want to see more books that have completely changed my life, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.